Well, hello there. You're watching In the Cave Fantasy Football with the four horsemen Vince, Danny, Mikey, and Jason. And you already know shenanigans are incoming. Stay tuned.
Gotta get hype! Can you feel me? Now, can you dig it?
What is up? I'm being a special guest. I'm out in the cold because I'm getting mentally prepared. I was out on the mega yacht chilling with mini Cowboys Cave Cruise. We're going to get into that with Jason and Disco D. And now I'm getting mentally prepared to make that trip to Dallas. I heard it might be a little cold, so I got to get everything ready. I got to get hyped. But I wanted to pop in and hang out with these guys because there's a lot of football going on, a lot of college, a lot of NFL, and definitely want to get you guys' opinion. But if you're just hopping in, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share, all that kind of good stuff. But what's going on, fellas?
Well, what's up, guys? How you guys feeling?
Everybody have a good Thanksgiving?
Yes, I did.
I had a wonderful Thanksgiving. The Cowboys beat the hell out of Washington, so that always makes for a very good Thanksgiving. What's up, Doug? So, anyway.
What's up, Doug?
What's
up, Liz?
Where do you guys, Vince, Mikey, Danny, Jason, where do you guys want to start? A little college? Start with a little college. We got a little that, and then we're going to hit some NFL, some week previews. And so, what do you guys got? Let's hear the college stuff. Who's going to start us off, Jay?
I don't know. I want to say something. So I know me and Danny were talking about college football, and we know. So we were talking, Danny. I know you said after the Ohio State-Michigan game, no matter who lost that game, a one-loss team, they were still going to kind of mess with FSU and knock them out the standings. So you still think that's the case, or what's up? What do you think that's going to happen?
I do. Do I think they deserve to be in if they win? Absolutely. I just think that, with the quarterback being out, I think they'll find some way to push them out. Whether just saying, hey, Louisville didn't have that strength of schedule we liked, even though you beat them in the championship. I think they want an Ohio State. They want a Texas. Obviously, Oregon or Washington's probably going to be knocked down because they. I hope Florida State gets in, but I just think they're going to screw them.
It's not Becker. So what if Oregon beats your boys?
Washington. Well, Washington would be out, but will they put Texas over Florida State at that time? Will they put Ohio State in there? I mean, there's many. Bama, I mean, you can't go wrong with either one of those teams. But
what if Bama beats Georgia?
Yes, Mikey. Yes.
This playoff could be all over the place.
You think they sneak Alabama in?
No.
If they beat, I guarantee you this: if they beat Georgia, don't be surprised if they sneak them in.
Well,
right.
I can tell you, Georgia won't drop out of the top four.
You got to look at, too, is Washington's undefeated. If Washington beat Oregon early in the season, if Oregon beats them, it's kind of like, I think it was Georgia, Alabama, when they played one won the regular season, one won the playoffs. They ended up putting them both in.
Yeah.
I think what's going to hurt I think Florida State, if they win out in the ACC, a major conference, you got to put them in, but I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to look at a Texas. I think they're going to look at, like you said, if an Alabama pulls an upset, if an Oregon, Ohio State, any of these things happen, I think they know. It's all about the money, man. You guys know that. And Florida State struggled against Florida with their backup quarterback.
Right.
Louisville losing. They lost this past week. I think it was North Carolina, if my memory's right, or NC State. It was a North Carolina team. Help me out in the chat if you guys know. But that hurt them because now you got a 2-loss team. And I'll tell you this about Louisville. Louisville played Miami, an unranked Miami team. They were underdogs in that game. That tells you all you need to know when you're playing. They were a top 10 team playing an unranked Miami team, and they were underdogs in that game. So I think Florida State, to Danny's point, I think they're in trouble. They better win big. They got to win decisively. They got to make it to where there's no question.
Well, I think either way. I think if Florida State wins, they're in, but we'll have to see, because if Washington beats Oregon, they'll probably just move Florida up to 3 and then put Oregon at the 4th spot. So
it was Kentucky.
I think they'll get in. Either way, if they win, they're in. That's how I look at it.
I can tell you right now,
Bama beats Georgia. Now Georgia's dropping. Now you move Florida up. There's a lot of scenarios. Washington loses. Now Florida jumps another spot. I mean,
Yeah, but Oregon's going to jump one of them. Oregon is probably. We had Uncle Cheech on the show last night, and Uncle Cheech, to a man, and got in a little argument with our man Ultra. He said Oregon's the best team in the country right now. Ultra thinks Michigan is. I predicted Michigan as a national champion. I just thought they have the NCAA against them. They want to give a big FU to them, and Harbaugh is going to pull out all the stops. This is my opinion. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. Vince, what are you thinking, man? You're quiet over there.
Well, real quick, I think if Florida State gets in, it's going to be similar to the Eagles' schedule when they made the playoffs. How easy it took, for them to go to the Super Bowl. It's going to be like that for whoever plays Florida State. Because I can tell you, any three of those teams that play Florida State is going to give them a mashing.
If Florida gets in and they play Georgia,
I don't care what
like
team.
GCU.
You could pick Ohio State, Michigan,
No disrespect to Florida
Georgia,
State,
Oregon, you name it. Florida State's getting bombed.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. Florida State has a good defense.
Yeah, but your quarterback's out, so only so far you can go.
Yeah. Next man up.
Sad.
Yeah, it's got to be. But just to bring up, Doug asked a good question. Oregon's favored over to undefeated Washington. And I don't know. I just think Oregon's is hot right now, and they're a hot team. Washington's had some, they played good, but they've had some battles, right? So I think Oregon is that team to watch. You got Bo Nix is probably pushing himself to as a Heisman favorite now.
Right.
So
Played him early. Things happen early in the season. You're just not.
And who wouldn't want to knock a team out of the playoffs? You know what I mean? Oregon's going to come in hot.
Well, I'm just surprised Washington is such a big underdog. Because, Penix, he's been balling all season.
Yeah.
So,
that's going to be great.
Washington, it's going to be a good game. It's going to
be great games.
I don't know, Edgar. Alabama's, they're not that. They're a tough team. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to whoop them
right now.
Well, the weird thing is you look at the line, and I'm telling you, you guys listen to Uncle Cheech. Vegas knows what they're doing, these guys. That line is 5. And I'm shocked. I thought it would have been double digits. They got that line at 5. They're either trying to suck a lot of Georgia guys, fans that come in and put a lot of money on it because, because I don't know, Bama, if you're being real to yourself, like 5 points, that I don't see it being that close. But Vegas, they're sneaky, and you got Nick Saban. You can't sleep on him. I know they've had some ups and downs, but it's going to be a great
program.
It's going to be a great weekend. It's going to be a great weekend of football.
Yeah, no doubt. That's going to be an exciting game. I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to see if Bama ends up squeaking it out, which I agree with you, Mike. I highly doubt it. Like, I'm going to call my bookie right now and throw some money on Georgia.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did beat Georgia.
If they did. You think they're gonna sneak Bama? I highly
Bama, but
NCAA is so I don't know. Forgive me for saying this, but it's sneaky. It doesn't feel right sometimes.
I just feel like the speed of Bama is just gonna beat Georgia. I don't know.
Georgia's not dropping out of top 4, but do they try to sneak Bama in? Do they try to sneak some other guys in?
I tell you, if Bama beats Georgia, Georgia will not make the playoffs.
I think Georgia drops to 4.
Georgia's in the playoffs.
Georgia's in the playoffs.
And SEC, they're going to put them in. No way they're not going to put
SEC holds so much weight. They dropped to 4.
So what would it be?
Let's say Bama
Georgia's did. Let's say Bama did beat Georgia.
Oregon
what would the rankings
or
be?
Washington's in. There's only
Oregon,
one spot left.
Florida State.
Florida State would be out. They'd be on the outside looking in.
Right. Bama's
beat Louisville?
Outside looking in.
No way.
All right.
Georgia would be 3 or 4.
Mike.
All about the money. But Georgia be in that scenario, Georgia
would
be 3
Bama
or 4.
Jump that much though?
Give us the signature wins of Florida State.
Ooh, man.
They beat Clemson and their.
What's Clemson ranked? What's Clemson ranked?
You don't. But people, I say this all the time. People don't understand. Clemson does not lose at home ever. Rarely. They're like Alabama at home. They beat LSU. Right.
Yeah.
Beat LSU.
That was decent.
I mean, it's okay, but look at Georgia. Georgia's going to – the SEC always carries more weight.
No,
That's what's just going to happen, and it's unfortunate. Now, if Georgia beats Alabama, Alabama's not getting in, obviously. But if you have an undefeated SEC team in the championship that loses, they did it before. Was it Alabama and Georgia last time they did that, where one of them was undefeated, they beat them, and they put them in, or LSU was one of them?
No, I believe you're right, Mike. They just dropped them. Yeah, they put them in.
And to show how it's about the money, look at Ohio State. They didn't even win their side of the conference, didn't play in a championship game, and they got put in the Final Four.
Yeah.
They did.
Well, they're outside looking in now.
Oh, yeah.
aren't they?
I'm not talking this year. I'm talking
Yeah.
about. a
Oh
couple
no,
years
that one year
Oh,
they
yeah,
were.
last year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. So
Well,
anyway,
I think Florida. If Florida wins, I think they're in.
it's
I think
gonna.
all they got to do is win.
It's
13-0. I mean, undefeated. You can't just take them out. I feel like
all
that's
right.
just wrong.
They
They'll be
better.
dirty if they did.
I'm not saying it's right, but I just think they're going to do it. So,
Yeah.
getting into college, it's going to be a great weekend. This is, I said it on Monday's show. Last weekend's probably one of the best college football weekends with all the rivalry games. This weekend is even better, and then you mix it up with some NFL. So, want to get in the NFL? Where the NFL power rankings just came out. So this is now we're going to get Vince in there because Vince is an NFL guy. We won't leave him out, but. Looking at the power rankings, what I'd say is, for you guys and for in the chat is there anything that you disagree with? Are you happy with what's here? I mean, you got the Eagles, Ravens, Niners, Chiefs, and Cowboys. Those are your top five. Start at Mikey and Vince, and then Danny and Jason. What do you say, Mikey? Start with you and work our way down. Anything surprise you?
The Broncos being 15 surprised me because, I mean, they're hot, and they beat the Bills, and they beat the Browns. I mean, I don't know how the Colts
Beat
are
the Chiefs.
13. Call it how it is. Beat the Chiefs. I mean, I feel like you can't put them at 15. I feel like maybe 12, 11, maybe sitting right behind the top 10. But, I mean, I feel like you have to put them up higher.
Okay, that's fair. Vince, what's your first observations when you look at this?
I see it as I don't see how the Browns are still up there. The Browns are an awful team. They're not going to go anywhere in the playoffs. I don't see them doing anything. And I honestly see the 49ers being the best team over the Eagles. I don't, the other three, I don't see how anyone's going to beat the 49ers this year.
Well, they've been beat 3 times this year, so.
Well, no, in the playoffs.
Besides those 3 times you met. Besides those 3.
In the playoffs. They haven't lost at home yet, but when they play at home in the playoffs, they're going to win.
If they would get if they win their division, they'll get. How are the Steelers 9? That's one comment. So Danny,
I agree with that. I don't know how the Steelers are 9.
One takeaway that I had is at the beginning of the season, we were talking AFC and their dominance and they're loaded and no one's going to beat them. And I think there's a big flip-flop. Midway through the season, the Chiefs aren't the Chiefs. You have the
Bills aren't the Bills.
Coast. Who the hell thought the Texans would be where they are? Who thought the Browns would be? The Steelers,
Ravens.
the Jaguars. I mean, all these teams. You knew the Dolphins would be up there but they've never beaten a team with a winning record. These NFC teams are actually dominating right now, and I think it's a big flip-flop from the beginning of the season. I think the NFC team is the team to beat.
Yeah, no, I agree.
What say you, Jason? Besides your Giants not being in the top 15, I know they got to win. You thought maybe they'd move up, but what are you thinking?
Y'all with the veto, on his win streak, you know what I mean? Nah, you didn't think they would do anything? No, I'm thinking I agree with Vince. The Steelers and Browns, I mean, they're 7-4. They're not even going to win the division. That's way too high to put them in the top 10. You know what I mean? That's fugazi. And the Bills, the Bills aren't the Bills, but it's the Bills. They're going to figure it out, hopefully. I mean, they're 6-6. The record's yuck, but I think they're higher than the Browns and Steelers.
I don't think they will.
Look who they play the next 3 weeks.
For the Bills? I get it, but
still. Yeah, they got the Chiefs and Cowboys coming up after their bye week, so they're gonna. I mean, they got the Cowboys at home, so
they could beat the Chiefs just because the Chiefs have 0 weapons. They have no receivers. Life, but
it's true.
I don't know.
Well, the Bills, though, turnover machine.
Terrible coaching.
That's their other problem.
Yeah. Terrible.
I see Jalen Hurts is a front runner for MVP. I don't know how he is because that last year Dak threw so many picks. Everyone's like, oh, he's not even top 20, blah, blah, blah. Now I see Jalen Hurts have 14 turnovers in 11 weeks, and everyone's praising him. I don't know how.
He's MVP.
I agree.
No, he's not.
I agree. Christian McCaffrey should be the MVP. It's a quarterback award if he doesn't get it.
I think what's going to happen what NFL is turning into it's almost like the Heisman sometimes. The quarterback of the best team is going to get the MVP. That's what it just seems like is the way it's going because to your point, Jalen Hurts, the thing I'll give him, damn it, And damn it, boy, they find a way to win. And I don't know how the hell they do it. They got 30 yards. He's got 30 yards passing at halftime. Next thing you know, he's winning the game. So I mean, they're resilient.
Mhm.
They're five. They've been down 5 games. 5 of their games they've been behind at halftime, and they've come back to win. You got to give them credit. I mean, obviously, I know the referees. There's a lot of talk with that, but the referees been bad all over. I'm not going to make excuses or trying to give anyone a pass. They've just found a way to win. Now, I don't think they're that good. I think the 49ers are going to go into Philly and beat them. I think the Cowboys are going to steamroll them. I'm telling you, they're going to beat them by double digits. I think we exposed them. We killed ourselves. I think we're going to beat them. Unfortunately for Dallas, I don't think that's going to be enough. I think they're going to go ahead and they'll run the table after that. And the interesting thing is I did a playoff predictor, and this would be worst case scenario if I'm being honest as a Cowboys fan. I ended up with the 49ers being the 1 seed, Philly being the 2 seed over the tiebreaker, Lions 3, Saints 4 would put Dallas at 5. I like to match up with the Saints, but that would more than likely mean Dallas would have to travel to San Francisco for a divisional round, which I'd rather play Philadelphia.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Yeah, isn't it you guys win this Thursday, you pretty much lock up the 5th?
I mean, we'd have to
locked up already, to be honest.
Yeah, we'd probably have to have a major collapse. But I mean, it's just, I didn't think Philly was going to be 10-1. I'm pretty shocked. But I think
if the Eagles win, that's a big shakeup though for that top 4.
If who?
If the Eagles beat the Niners.
If the Eagles beat the Niners, they're probably going to just lock up first seed. They'll lock up number 1 seed. They don't play after Dallas. They don't play anybody.
Nobody.
They play Seattle after us across country, but after that, it's really nobody. They didn't even play the Giants yet. They got the Giants twice. They got so it's going to be tough sledding for Dallas. I think that they're locked into the 5 seed, and it's not the perfect scenario, but Dallas is they're tested with a defense, so it'll be interesting. But flipping it to the AFC, get your guys' opinion on the AFC. I did it. I had the Chiefs being the 1 seed, Jaguars 2 seed, Dolphins 3, Ravens 4, and then I had the Browns as a 5th seed, the Steelers as a 6th seed, and the Colts as a 7th seed. So I look at the power rankings and I'm thinking, well, maybe they're right, and I think a lot of it has to do with your schedule, and obviously injuries play a part of it. But I mean, what are you guys thinking with the AFC?
I don't know, because the Ravens would be 4 seed. I don't think the Ravens would be the 4 seed. I think the Ravens will be the 2 seed where the Jaguars are, and then I don't think the Browns will make the playoffs. With the offense they have right now and the injuries, they won't make the playoffs. I think the Broncos will get in over them.
Think Broncos will slide ahead of them?
I think the
Broncos they play the Texans
with the
this
7th
week,
seed.
so this will determine a lot.
Yeah, big game.
If you guys beat the Texans, I'll give you guys props.
We have the Chargers twice, Raiders. I mean, we don't have any heavy hitters. I mean, the only tough matchup we have left is the Lions.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if
winnable
the Texans
games
made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, then, like you said, watch the schedule and watch the coach, because I'm pretty sure Jonathan Taylor is going to be out. So if Zach Moss can pick up where he left off, the Colts could be a sneaky team.
Right.
But
the Ravens still have to play the Niners,
No, that's what if you look at I got the Ravens finishing 12-5. It's not like they're going to be crappy. I just got Miami 13-4, and I got Jacksonville 14-3. Based, a lot of it's based on their schedule. So, I mean, I think don't the Jaguars play the Bengals? Do they play them this week? And then
they just played the Texans.
Who do they?
The Jaguars play the Bengals Monday night.
Yeah, and I mean they catch a break. They don't have Burrow, so I mean that looked like it was going to be a huge game, but that should be
and maybe no T. Higgins still.
Yeah. So that should be an easy win for them. I mean, obviously anything can happen, but
I mean,
some things fall your way.
Don't they play the Panthers?
The Jaguars? The Jaguars have, let's see, after that, they play the Browns and the Ravens and the Bucks. Panthers. Yep, they play the Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers, Ravens, Bucks. I mean, besides the Ravens, I mean, that could be a good game, but the other 3 are winnable.
They're going to beat, hopefully, they're going to beat the Panthers and the Titans, right? The Bucks, 50-50. I mean, the
Yes,
Bucks are
Doug.
crap right now, so they should beat them. And then the Ravens, they probably lose to the Ravens, right? The Browns
At
team is beat
Detroit.
up. I don't know. So
But
that's
the
a game.
only way I see the Browns even getting in is because of their defense. That defense is.
That defense is sick. But if you have a crappy offense, it's going to tire out the defense. You see it time and time again.
I just saw Myles Garrett in a sling, so I don't know how that. I don't know.
Right? Yeah. Yep. That's another one. Mm-hmm. They're banged up. That's why I say I don't see them making it, man. Just because of all the injuries and stuff.
It's unfortunate though, because I want
It is.
Browns in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Disco question. I want to get that on what we want to get Vincent here on the AFC is you still got Detroit. You got Detroit on the schedule. Is that home or away?
It's in Detroit.
So that's going to be a tough game. So you got the Texans, you got Detroit. So you got a couple tough games. Anything else on Denver's schedule of concern?
Okay, well, the way I look at it is, didn't Chicago just steamroll Detroit in Detroit?
Packers did.
Oh, my bad.
Oh,
Packers.
yeah, that's Chicago.
Packers.
beat
That's
them
what I
now.
meant. The Packers.
Chicago, I think,
Packers
beat
aren't
them.
that great of a team. We beat the Packers.
Lions are they're a
Hey, I
hit
can
or a
drink.
miss. They're a hit or a miss.
Yeah,
They're good.
honest.
I mean, Detroit's a good team, but you just don't know what Detroit team's going to show up.
Yeah, but I honestly think your staple would be the Texans this week because I like the Texans. The Texans is a good team. They
I
are a
said
good
the
team.
Texans are not going to be a steamroll.
This is our
You're gonna
this
have
is
to
a
put them
test
away
for
early.
sure.
It's a
Because
test for
I
your
can tell you right
defense.
now, we may have won 5 in a row,
Mhm.
but those games were not that pretty. I mean,
No.
our running
But
game
you
hasn't
won.
been great. Our defense has been great.
Yeah.
But Russell Wilson, he's dinking and dunking. He's not,
Slinging it.
not playing as good as maybe the record shows. We're not turning the ball over, which is good. But our defense
Russell Wilson has
is
clutched it up for some games.
Well, it's old school football. You guys are playing great defense. Russell Wilson is protecting the ball. He's dinking and dunking.
Right.
I know it's
Not turning
boring.
it over.
It's boring, but it works. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
like how they drew it up, X's and O's.
Yeah.
Well, let me. I want to throw this out there, and I want to get Vince's comments. So, the MVP, Vince said McCaffrey. One name that no one said. I'm not going to say Dak, so don't worry about it. We're going to leave that alone. But
Here we go.
no, but
Say it.
it's serious. If you're talking about MVP, we're looking at MVP. What would that team be like if you remove that person? Why wouldn't CJ Stroud get any?
I was going to say.
Oh, they're
Oh,
going to say
yeah.
CeeDee Lamb.
Oh yeah, CJ Stroud for me is definitely
CeeDee Lamb's coming.
But I mean,
Stroud for me is
hey,
rookie of the
even
year.
though
He's
he is
got to
the
be
MVP
rookie of
of
the
that
year,
team.
right?
No,
I
he already
mean,
has that locked up.
But
come
I
on.
mean, that team is. I mean, if they beat Denver, they're probably got a huge shot because that's a
Great
conference
shot.
game of getting into the playoffs. If you get into playoffs with a rookie quarterback,
Playoffs.
I mean, their best receivers are rookie, right? Tank Dell has been their best receiver.
Tank Dell,
I
Nico
don't know who
Collins.
their running back is. I don't know who their coach. I love D'Amico Ryans. I thought that was a great hire. I liked him at San Francisco. I
Yeah,
loved him as a
I agree.
player. But
Right.
does he? I mean, is he going to get some love?
He'll
For-
get
and he
coach of the
has
year,
to.
I think.
He has to.
I feel like he has to get
Yes.
coach of the year.
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah.
turned that team around and
He's going to get
he
love,
turned
but
that
I
team
mean,
around in 1
the
year.
stage of the MVP
Not even
is
1
Christian
year.
McCaffrey. I mean, the guy's been just lights out
I
week in and
think
week
no
out.
matter
Quarterbacks get the MVP.
A touchdown in every damn
I'll
game
tell you
this
what,
season
though.
almost.
I'll tell you what, if- No,
No,
I'm unbiased. If Dak keeps playing the way he is, don't be surprised if he's in the running.
He's good. He's already third on the list. I mean, he's played the best football since the San Francisco game. Hands down, you can't argue that. He's been the best quarterback in the NFL since that game. Hands down, not even close. He's got to win. He's got to beat Philly. He's got to beat Seattle.
Yep.
He's got to beat
Buffalo.
Buffalo. He's got to beat Miami. He's got to run the gauntlet. Philly had their gauntlet. They've run it. Now, we'll
And they
see what
ran it.
happens with San Francisco and Dallas next, but he's got to win. That's the
Yeah.
only way he's going to get the respect during the regular season. He's got to win that. What I was going to ask Vince, he's the mind of everything. When's the last time a non-quarterback won the MVP? I don't know.
Peterson.
Honestly, I don't know.
Adrian Peterson.
I thought it was like in
It was I guarantee it was Adrian
I have no
Peterson.
idea.
Anyone know in the chat? Anyone got to look
Adrian
up?
Peterson.
All right, it's Adrian. If it's Adrian Peterson, if that's factual, he's been gone a long time. I just think the
I think that was
MVP is
2012.
always going to the quarterback, and then the offensive player of the year has now shifted to go to the running back or receiver. That's the way it looks. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that's why I don't think McCaffrey. They didn't even have McCaffrey in the top 5 Vegas odds of MVP.
Well, to that point,
it'll always be a quarterback.
Points to Mikey, it was Adrian Peterson in 2012.
Okay, that's a long time ago.
How about this? In 23 years, only 4 have won MVP, other than a quarterback, and they were all.
Well,
running
to
backs.
Mikey's point, it's heavy a quarterback's award, right? So C.J. Stroud versus CMC.
Some quarterbacks do deserve it.
Well, yeah, of course, but like he said,
Mahomes from 50 touchdowns. I mean, that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
Mahomes should not get
What?
it.
Mahomes better not get
it. I'm not saying this year. I'm
Boycott.
saying past years.
Mahomes is above that.
Mahomes won't get it this year. He won't get it this year.
Texans without Stroud are bums, right? The 49ers without CMC, you think they're going to be bums?
I don't think they'll be bums.
Right.
They'll definitely be hurting, but they won't be bums.
So I think the more valuable player on each of those respective teams would be C.J. Stroud.
I don't think they're going to look at it that way. I think they're heavy on stats.
Well, all right. Well, what about Cooper Kupp?
No.
That year he had. Didn't he set the NFL record in yards and he set the NFL record in catches or whatever? Didn't he have some huge year touchdowns?
Well,
and all he got was offensive player of the year. He did not get MVP.
Well, that's
right.
What was that?
If anybody would have got MVP, it was that year and him.
Well, I guess Michael Thomas that 1 year. It was kind of the same thing.
But
yeah. But anyway, so what's the big games? Vince, what's the big game to watch this weekend? What do you got your eye on? Give us a breakdown.
First, can I get started with Jeff's comment?
It
kind of bothered me. He said golf must look like Rams golf lately. Did you remember who Rams golf was? Rams golf took the Rams to the Super Bowl. I don't think you remember that because
I know what he's saying. I gotta agree.
Rams team was.
I gotta agree with Jeff. I gotta agree with Jeff on that. He has not looked. He hasn't looked very good. He hasn't looked. And golf had that 1 year, but he looked like crap after.
Terrible. Who were his wide receivers on that Super Bowl team? Nobody's.
Nobody's is crazy.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of their team.
Exactly.
Well, if I look it up, they probably had some.
But they had a defense.
They had Van Jefferson.
What about Jalen? Did they have Jalen Ramsey that year?
Van Jefferson.
Who was their running backs? Who was their? I don't even know. I know they ran like 200 plus yards.
It was Akeem Talib, Malcolm or Marcus Peters.
Akeem Talib, you really bringing up him? He's a nobody.
Yeah, you know Wade Phillips was
defensive genius. Yeah,
Aaron Donald.
Any of the players on the team except for Jared.
I don't know, but I'm not a fan of the Rams, so I'm not. I don't even. I couldn't name you 5 guys from how many years ago was it?
I can name
how many years ago?
Super Bowl team on the Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl.
That was last year. All right, give me the starting defense for the Philly Super Bowl team that won the Super Bowl.
What was it 18?
It was 5 years ago. Go ahead.
I know offense, not defense.
I mean, you know it in there. All right, there you go. Todd Gurley and was it C.J. Anderson? Was that the running back?
Oh yeah, I had
Todd Todd Gurley, who was I think it was offensive player
Anderson
of the year
actually had a good game.
He destroyed us.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp.
Robert Woods, a fantastic receiver, was for the Bills.
Well, going back to the game of the week, it's got to be the 49ers.
That's what I was trying to get at. Game of the week, 49ers.
I agree.
Well, that is the game of the week.
All right.
That game will shake up the whole standings.
Why are we looking at his stomach? I don't want to see that. This is a family show. I don't need to get any restriction. So Mikey, give me a quick synopsis and a prediction of that game, and then go to Vince, Danny, and Jason. Go ahead.
I think the 49ers will I think the 49ers are going to start off red hot. I will go, I think 24-21. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
49ers?
I'll say 24-21 49ers.
Okay. Vince.
35-17 Eagles.
Wow.
You got the Eagles beating the 49ers?
Way.
I thought he just said the 49ers are the best team in the NFL.
They are.
Oh, my God.
In the
they got 4 losses. Okay, Danny, go ahead.
Eagles are the Eagles defense gives up a lot of points.
Terrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
They gave up 31 points to the Commanders, and we just blew them out.
Georgia's the #1 team in college, and they have the.
I don't think Georgia's the best team in college.
They're going to show you why they was #1, and Georgia's going to win the championship.
They won't
this
win
year too. So,
what do you got, Danny?
Well, hell of a game, and I hope it lives up to the hype. Philly, but it's at San Fran. I think they're
It's
very
at Philly.
evenly matched.
It's at Philly.
At Philly.
Oh, it's at Philly? Holy shit.
Yeah.
I thought it was Philly wins this game. I hate to say it. God damn.
No.
I thought it was at San Fran.
No, they got it home. They got it home.
Philly. I hate to say it. Philly's going to win this game.
Man.
I'm going 31-24.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree at all. The Eagles are 10-1. They play mistake-free football. I'm sorry. They capitalize on mistakes, right? That's all they got. I don't believe in this Philly 10-1 team at all. The 49ers, if they could play mistake-free football, they'll blow that secondary out the water. Blow it out the water. That secondary is trashed. If I say the 49ers get up early and it's going to be a good game, but not as good as people think. Man, I think the over-under right now is almost 46 points. So I say 49ers, 28, Philly. Maybe there's some fun defense safety things going on, like 18 or something like that.
I just still see the Browns beating them, and I don't know.
But wasn't Ayuk out that game? Wasn't?
I don't give a shit if Ayuk was out that game. They still had McCaffrey.
Hey, he's a beast.
Yeah, but the Browns have one of the best defense, if not the best.
Yes. At
So-
that point in time, the Browns had one of the best defenses in the league.
Okay, let me explain something to you. Denver beat the shit out of the Browns.
But yeah, but
All right, and
that's
I would like to
because
think
the Browns had no quarterback.
And the Jets beat the Eagles.
The
And the
49ers
Jets
are
beat the
better than
Eagles.
The Broncos.
You know how football is.
Yeah.
Well,
I
it's a
know.
field goal match the whole time. You guys should have blew them out, but the Browns.
That's why I
defense
said if it
keeping
was
them
at
in the
Philly, it might be
game.
a different story. But I mean, if it was at San Fran, it's at Philly, man. It's gonna be nuts at that stadium.
Philly's
get
not
it.
hard
Fran
to
has
play.
to travel across the country to play that game, and you know what Uncle Cheech said about when these teams have to travel across
West
the
to
country.
east. I agree.
You know,
I
it's a
agree.
different time zone. Everything's different. They're playing
agree.
3 hours earlier.
I agree.
It makes a difference. So let me ask you guys this on a fantasy side. You know the stars. You know what they got. You starting any star that in this game, or is there anyone you're saying bad matchup? I'm going to sit him.
I'm starting Debo, Ayuk,
Everyone.
PMC.
All
The
of them.
49ers are starting. It's going to be a high-scoring game on the 49ers side. That secondary on the Eagles is
I
suspect.
wouldn't start Devontae Smith if I'm
Nope.
being honest.
I would start them all. It's going to be
All?
a shootout. It's
All
going
right.
to be an absolute shootout.
All right. So then let's talk about the Cowboys. We'll finish up here with the Cowboys, Seattle. I'm going to the game. I'm getting that Learjet. We're going to be rolling out there. I won Des Bryant tailgate party tickets, so I'll be going in style. We've got some surprises coming up on tomorrow night's show, so make sure you guys check it out. We got some things that might be dropping. It's going to be pretty good. But so Dallas doesn't lose when I'm there. They have one of the longest win streaks. They have the longest win streak, home winning streak in the NFL. They've got Seattle. Seattle got they got a little bit of a beating on Thursday, or wasn't it Thursday against San Francisco?
Yep. And they played Thursday
We
game.
rolled. We rested our offense again in the fourth quarter. So start with Mikey over to Vince and on down. What's your prediction of this game? And also, is there any guys within this game that you say, I'm not starting? Go ahead.
Well, I'll go to the starts. I would not start DK Metcalf. I think he's going to get locked up the whole game, to be
Okay.
honest. But to my prediction, I think it's going to be 40-21.
Wow.
I think we're just going to blow them out, and then Dak's going to be chilling in the fourth quarter.
Wow, that'd be a surprise.
I'm not really worried about Seattle. I just think we're gonna blow them out because Geno Smith does not look like Geno Smith from last year. He has turned the ball over.
Oh, yeah,
a lot.
absolutely.
I like the
lot.
confidence. I like the confidence.
I
Would you start Brandon Cooks?
Yes, I would.
All right.
Yeah.
Everyone-
I'm waiting my turn.
I would
Waiting my
start
turn.
every
All right.
Dallas receiver,
All right.
even though I know they have Witherspoon and Woolen and all that, but
Look,
they don't scare me.
Pick
All right,
up
what do you
some.
got, Vince? We're gonna have Jason. You get to finish
All
this off. Vince, what do you got in this game?
Cowboys are going to kill them. I could see CeeDee Lamb getting like 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
It's just going to be a terrible game. The Seahawks look awful recently. I really love
Oh
the
my
Seahawks,
God!
but they look.
You guys are making me nervous.
Why you be so modest? Go ahead, Danny D.
I agree with the other two. I think it's going to be a blowout. I think the Seahawks are overrated. Dallas is going to just manhandle them top to bottom. It's going to be probably 38-17.
Wow.
And I think we'll beat not beating a team over 500.
Well, that's I'm going to ask that next, but go ahead, Jason. I want you to finish.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, yeah. I mean, I know why you be so modest, Mike. I get it. I'm the same way. When my team's playing, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be tough. You know, look, Seattle. Kenneth Walker is not. I don't think he's gonna play this game.
He's not playing.
So
he's not playing.
He's not playing. So Zach Charbonnet, if you want to pick him up on the waiver wire, go ahead. He's not gonna do shit against that Cowboys defense. I mean, let's be real. But if you need him, he's there. Seattle got nothing else, so they're gonna be throwing the ball. DK Metcalf. We'll play it back. We'll play it back. We'll play it back for the folks at home. You guys got that live and in color, bro. Congratulations. That's a podcast first. But like I said, they're gonna try to throw the ball. Geno's not Geno. All they got is DK. Really. I mean, that's it. And then on Brett, to your point, Cooks, over the last 6 weeks, that guy's been balling. He's been averaging, last game when he had like 72 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
I want every part of that Dallas offense right now. So Cooks, he's only rostered just a little bit over 50% of rosters right now according to Yahoo. So Cooks is a good pickup.
No, and I think Dallas is going to win. I'll give my prediction tomorrow, but I think Dallas is going to win. I'll give the score. But my question I wanted to ask you guys is, it's a hot topic in the media. Dallas has not beaten a team with a winning record, right? So that's what they say. We'll see what happens when the season's over. Seattle is 6-5. When Dallas beats them, they won't have a winning record anymore. So is this another team that they beat without a winning record?
No, they'll still be 500, 6-6.
It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
You don't. I just saw what you did.
First of all, there's teams that have won the Super Bowl by not beating a team with a winning record. It's all bullshit.
I think it is too, because they say this, but we did beat the Jets when they were 1-0.
No, I think it's ridiculous. Hey, on a serious note, we do have a very important fantasy question from Quinn. He's in a 12-man PPR league. He's got Herbert, CMC, Etienne, Keenan, Ayuk, Ridley, Taysom, and Pitts. And who's that? Cheney? Is that the E-Chain? E-Chain on the bench. That's the Dolphins running back. They got the trade line coming tomorrow. Is there any suggestions for his team? Any spots where if there's an area he could pick up? Anything you guys? Anything?
Vince, you're in first place. You
I'd pick up a tight end.
No, go ahead, Vince. I got a couple of suggestions. Go ahead, Vince.
Trade for a tight end. Get rid of Herbert.
Get rid of Justin Herbert?
You could trade A-Chain for a tight end.
And who's that? No.
It's just the team that Herbert's on is terrible. He's a good quarterback. He's just on a terrible team.
Yeah, but I mean, if he doesn't have a backup quarterback,
look, you're keeping Herbert. You're keeping Herbert. Let's get the easy stuff out the way.
Trade for him. Let's get the tight end out of it.
Well, you're keeping Herbert.
And get a tight end.
Yeah, you're keeping Herbert. You're keeping CMC. You're keeping Etienne. You're keeping Keenan. Watch his injury because he's injury prone. So if you can bundle Keenan in a trade,
Keenan Allen.
You're not, but this
40 all year.
Yeah, I get it, but he's also been hurt again and again and again.
You got to trade something to get something,
right? Exactly. All right, so Ayuk you're keeping. Ridley's a bum. He had one great game last week. It is what it is. I would trade Ridley and Taysom Hill. Right now, you could get a lot of trade value for him. Michael Thomas is out. Chris Olave is in concussion protocol. All they have is Taysom Hill.
He's
and
projected 9 points. You're not getting any trade value out of him.
Fuck projections. Taysom Hill's going to ball out.
I trust him.
Taysom, right now, I'm saying Michael Thomas is out and Olave's out. So all they have is Taysom Hill and Camaro. That's their whole offense right there. So I would bundle Ridley and Taysom and try to get you a tight end.
I would trade Ridley or A-Chain to get a tight end.
I would hold on to A-Chain. If he
already has CMC and ETN.
You're getting close to the finish line. The bye weeks are almost done. They got a few left, right?
CMC and ETN, that's all you need.
Well, speaking of, you got 6 teams on bye this week. And there's not a lot of running backs out there. The Ravens are on bye, so you lose Lamar and all those guys. The Bills are on bye. You lose Cook and Allen. The Giants are bums, but you lose Barkley. There's not a lot of running backs left on the waiver wire. Zach Moss, maybe if people dropped him because Taylor came back. So Zach Moss will be your number one waiver wire pickup. For tight ends,
might be a sleeper.
Yeah, Doddle's the second pickup. So if Zach Moss is not available, I'll grab Doddle for sure. tight ends, Pat Fryermuth.
Is the boys are going to kill him. Can't trust Pitts. Is he still? I don't understand. Why is he? Why is he in Atlanta? I mean, what? I feel bad for this guy. He's a as Scott Steiner used to say, he's a genetic freak, and he's just wasting away in Atlanta.
Can't blame Atlanta. Blame him.
No, you blame Atlanta. You blame Atlanta.
Doing it with Drake London. They're doing it with Bijan. Yes. And they're doing it with Pitts. It's a Falcon thing.
Thank you, Mikey.
It will always be a Falcon thing.
Mikey watches football, Mikey.
Because they do it with Drake London and Bijan.
They are killing. Deron Bland has more touchdowns than him.
In his career.
He's a quarterback.
And
he did them all this season.
I know. In 11 games. In 11 games, bro. That Bland dude, bro. That was insane. In 11 games.
In 11 games.
Can we talk about that Jim Nance call, though? That is a legendary
call.
That's a freak. That's a freak right there. I don't think Deion never done that, right? Deion's never done that.
No. But they didn't throw at Deion a lot. I mean, and I said this on the show yesterday is you got to be careful because Deion. I mean, they weren't tested Deion like. But the thing is,
whole half of the field down. They wouldn't even throw his way.
No, I've watched Bland, and I'll say this is he's a playmaker. He's not perfect. I mean he's going to get beat sometimes. He's not perfect, but he makes plays, and when you can do that, and you can take interceptions, especially turn them into touchdowns, that's game changing. I mean, it's huge. Yeah. And so what about him? You got Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, does he deserve to be in the conversation
right now? I think he's the favorite right now.
I think that's a touchy subject. I think obviously
Myles Garrett is.
Well, I say obviously what Bland has done is special.
Garrett.
But I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you can't argue his stats. The guy's been a gamer. What's his name gets hurt. Diggs. He comes in there and I would say he's playing better than Diggs was.
Yeah,
I mean the guy's.
He's given up a couple plays, but he's playing very well. And the thing is Rondé, like Danny, you may know this, Jason. You may appreciate Vince. I don't know if you might be too young. Rondé Barber, to me, I always thought. God, he returns. How many damn touchdowns did he always return? It seemed like all the time. He had 8 in his career.
Wow,
8 in his career. Wow. Hall of Famer, 8 in his career. Wow. He's got 6 in one season. And it's just curious. It's exciting.
That boy's going somewhere.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty special. It's amazing.
It's his rookie year too. I think he had like a couple his rookie.
He had a couple his rookie year. Yeah, he just has a knack for the ball. 6th round pick, and that's where fifth round. I thought he was 6th. Fifth round. It just goes to show these guys. It's about opportunity, and that's why this league is littered with 5th, 6th, 7th, and undrafted guys make up more than half the league. Is because it's a want-to and it's a drive. And why do you see these cornerbacks get drafted in the first round and there's so many busts? So, right. I mean, it's a credit to him and the work he's put in, and obviously Dan Quinn, credit to the coaching staff.
Yeah. I saw a video, and he was a 0-star with 1 offer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
That's
now he's
that's
one of
amazing.
the top corners in the NFL.
Yep.
Hey, Mikey, I don't know if you saw, I got our fantasy standings also.
Yeah, do you have them up? Let's see what the standings are.
I'll pull them up. I'm making just a little comeback.
I just want to point out, Danny had the biggest choke in his life.
Oh, yes, Vince, yes. When I did this chart, so look at Danny. Danny's 5-7. Danny started 5-1.
Shut up. He's doing the opposite of the Broncos.
5-1.
He started 5-1.
He started 5-1. He said, I'm the best team.
When I did this chart,
6 in a row.
Well, I did this 6 games ago.
I just want to say I'm 2 games out. I'm winning right now.
Hey, did we fix the playoffs to make sure it's not 2-week thing that we're doing?
I know.
6
I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna
fix that.
Oh, thank God.
6 teams in the
Mark got a
first.
4 wins.
Really?
What?
Mark has 4 wins.
Mark, he won. I think who did he beat? Did he beat Doug? Did he beat
Doug and Mikey?
He beat me.
He didn't beat me. He didn't beat me.
Oh, it was Mike. He
beat Kelly. He beat Kelly. But hey, it's like I said. The hard thing is if you get. I mean, I got to pull him to win because he has all Cowboys. That means the Cowboys are going to – they're dominating. So you can't hate on that. You can't hate on that.
No, that's true.
There was – I don't know if you guys saw it. There was a few weeks ago the top 4 receivers in the week: CeeDee Lamb, not in any order, I can't remember. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Noah Brown, and Dalton Schultz. All Cowboys, or at least former Cowboys, were on the NFL. That's crazy. That's crazy. So
yeah, and currently right now in fantasy, CeeDee Lamb is your number 3 receiver.
So what are we doing? So on those standings, so what's it look like? Do we have any playoff scenarios yet? Do you have that on your phone? Someone have that up? What's the playoffs looking like?
Yeah, we're going to what? Week 15 is the start of the playoffs, right?
Elijah already clinched. EJ Savage is already clinched.
All right, boys in the zone. Make sure you get him a subscribe.
Right now.
Say what?
I beat Vince this week. Thanks for reminding me. Take that L, Vince. You stink. I told you I was going to beat you in the beginning of the season.
I didn't even play you. I played Kelly.
No, you didn't. I beat
you.
you.
Yes, I did. You
Mikey, you beat me.
You
beat me,
Kelly.
I got proof.
I think you beat me, Mikey.
That's not
all right. I want to show respect to Doug. Mark didn't beat Doug. He beat Cuts by Jones. So we got to make sure.
Sponsor.
I don't want any issues.
You know.
The playoff bracket as it stands right now is Elijah, Kelly, Vince, and Troy.
Well, here I got.
One more time. Say it one more time.
Elijah, Kelly, Vince, and Troy.
That's the 4.
That's the top 4 right now.
But 6 make the playoffs.
Okay, well then Fred and Doug. Fred and Doug. Okay. All right. Cuts by Jones and Doug. And Doug, I can't remember. If you're going to be at the game Thursday, give me a call or shoot me a text tonight.
Doug is 6-6. How is he going to make the playoffs?
Hey, it's a tough league, man. It's a tough league, man.
Look at the record.
You're only 8-4. That's only 2 games from you, bro.
We'll see what happens.
6-6 and has a bye.
Oh, he doesn't have a bye. That's not set in stone.
You say that?
It's not set in stone. The playoff bracket's not set in stone. That's just projected as of today.
A 6-man playoff, so half the league makes the playoff.
That's what we're doing.
That's standard.
That's doing. If you don't like it, shut up.
What the hell is going on? Why are we changing the rules?
Mike expanded the playoffs so he can get in.
This is bold.
He signed an executive order.
We're not doing a 2-week playoff. We're not doing a 2-week playoff where you play each other twice. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it.
You could do it with a.
Hey, if your team's good, then you should win 3 playoff games.
All right, Doug, give me a holler tomorrow. You're gonna be there.
Because those last 2 weeks,
like and subscribe.
Yeah, make sure you like.
All you gotta do is text.
Hey, if your team's good enough, you're gonna win.
Right.
If your team's good enough, you're gonna win.
He sounds nervous.
He's scared. I see the scare. I see the fear in his eyes.
Yeah, he's white as a ghost.
Dallas and them are going to be.
Hey, Vince, don't let this ruin your Disney weekend. Come on.
I can't believe that.
Get the ears for Emily, please.
Those ears is more hair than you'll ever have.
I got more hair in my face than you have.
Wow.
Wow. You brushed that stash.
We all know the picture Disco D has.
Well, all right, man. Well, anything? Did we miss anything? Did we miss anything? Because I'm getting cold.
Yeah, it's getting cold out here.
I think we did.
Questions in the chat.
What's the temperature right now over there in Florida?
Florida is very cold. It's in the 40s tonight. So, like I said, I'm getting ready. I'm sleeping out here tonight just to get acclimated to the weather. Heard it might be cold. I want to make sure I'm ready to go. We are going to be hyped. Now, like I said, we're going to be – any of you guys going to the game, make sure you hit me up. Kelly K9 is going to be there. Mark's going to be there. Doug's going to be there. We got a whole crew that's going to be there. I'm going to be meeting up with the UK Cowboy because we are the world's team. We're going to drop a hype video inside Des Bryant's tailgate. Now, I don't know if he's gonna come over and join us, or they're going to throw us out, whatever's going to happen, but we're going to do it. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be at Texas Live. The Learjet lands at 1:30. We will be expect to be at Texas Live by.
Make sure you tell Des to stop running from me from Madden.
No, well, we're going to find it. You're going to see him next week, and you're going to be already booked the tickets. We've got everything set, so there'll be no backing out. You can tell him to your face. All I can say is he's a lot bigger in person than you.
I'm a coward.
So I'll be very nice to Dez. I saw he went after somebody, and some media person did something, boy, and they went after Dez, and he goes, "If you go low, I'm going to go lower," and then he ripped into him. It was pretty good. He's a great follow on Twitter. He's fun, but he protects the players. He doesn't let the media.
Tell Dez to give his mom a hug.
What?
Yeah, that's not funny.
I think it's pretty funny. Why is he hitting his mom? Give him a hug. You should tell him that. You should tell him that. Give him a hug.
Vince, your favorite player dates minors.
That's not. You don't know nothing about it, and I don't know either. And I don't get in family business. I don't think you want us getting in your family business. And I sure the hell don't want to.
Des Bryant hit his mom.
And you talk about Des Bryant on the field. You don't get in people's. I'm just going to tell you that.
You know the.
I'm not getting in people. You want to go into your family? Should we bring up family issues with you? You want to talk about it?
Family.
I
didn't hit my mom.
It doesn't. You don't know. You weren't there, so you have no idea. You have no idea.
I'm about to hit Mikey right now.
So anyway, we'll leave. Unfortunately, the show has to end on a sour note. We're actually having a lot of fun, but you don't talk about people's family. Anyway, all right. Anything else, guys?
No, I think we hit it all, man.
All right, man. We'll be at the tailgate. We're gonna have a good time. I'll be seeing you guys. We will see you tomorrow night. Kelly K9 and I, 9 p.m. Peace out.
See ya.
Take it over. Can you feel me?